All right. Good afternoon. Welcome to North Hardin Christian School's Orientation. How you guys doing? You all right? You okay? We all could use a little summer. We know that whole thing, right? We could use a little bit more time. Some of you are like, no, I need my kids to go somewhere now. My name is Joshua Hardin. I am one of the pastors here at Fellowship Baptist Church. We sponsor North Hardin Christian School, and so then during the day, I am the campus pastor, so I interact with elementary all the way up, as a matter of fact, all the way to the Educare, which is in Vine Grove. That's K3 through K5, all the way up to here. And so it's my pleasure to welcome you to today. It is Friday. You don't have to be in school till Tuesday. Let's just remember that. We got a little bit more time to prepare. We all need that time. Well, we need that time. But we're very glad to have you as part of our family, and we do mean that. We will not be successful in all aspects. I think if you have family, you know that family sometimes lets you down too. So we're going to be making some mistakes, but hopefully we'll have grace together with you as we walk through the chaos of this world and the beauty of life. One of my responsibilities for elementary, for example, I do shout-outs on Mondays and Fridays, and I give bad dad jokes to prayer requests to complimenting students for proper behavior and kindness. We do it through Google Classrooms. I go out live on Mondays in the mornings and on Fridays in the mornings. But we also prepare their elementary chapels, the elementary activities director, the new one that we have this year, and all of the elementary programs that we have. Those are kind of concepts that I'm a part of in that. Fine arts. We've got our first fine arts play coming up, Aristocrats. And I'm in charge of helping out with the fine arts there. But I'm also in charge of the theme. The theme of this year, which you can find on your merch if you go into the gym, is from 2 Peter chapter 1. And that is the passage that was actually the inspiring verses to start North Hardin Christian School in 1986. And it is the things that we add to our faith is virtue, and to virtue knowledge, to knowledge temperance. And it continues to go on in 2 Peter, because the whole point is if you have these things in your life, you will know that you are of Christ and that you are serving Christ. So for us to be able to partner with you all in wisdom and virtue is our dream, is our goal, is our desire. And we'll do that through our academic settings, to our informal extracurricular settings as well. So one of the things I'm also do is tell you about opportunities for merchandise, for example. If you've not been in the gym, we have some seniors selling some of our merchandise over in the gym. It is a pre-order only, so you don't have to worry about paying today. That, by the way, just so you get a full idea of the connectivity we do, is from a family member here, but also a veteran of our military forces who now does this as part of his income, and he does a great job, and so it's just our way of supporting him as well. And then he gives 10% to our senior class. So it's just a good example of how we're a family here, and we want to continue those relationships. The other thing I want to encourage you to take on your way out, we will continuously have this before you, but last year we had a pretty hard year at North Hardin Christian School. We experienced some loss across the board from both properties, families that were in crisis. We lost a staff member, we lost a student last year, and then just the impact of Satan attacking us as Christians, our flesh and our minds being weak and weary, and just trudging through life. We want to encourage people to understand that we can have joy even in suffering. But one of the things I want to do as a campus pastor is to be proactive in communicating resources to you. So this form that I have here, it says Soul Care. This is the top 4 have asterisks next to them. These are Christian therapists or counseling organizations that are committed to the cause of Christ and to soul care. And so I have personally sat down with these people, had Zoom conferences, or know them personally. And I'm working on growing that list of people that we've personally vetted. All of the ones underneath that list are ones that I've gotten recommendations from local churches in the area. So we just wanted to be proactive to let everyone know This will be hanging in different parts of our school building, specifically in middle school, high school, where they really start engaging with those difficulties. We're trying to be very active in that while still maintaining a strong academic core and trying to help them continue to learn and move forward with life. Because ultimately what we're here to do, folks, is to partner with you. We're not taking over your position. We're not trying to tell you what to do. We're trying to come in and partner with you. And that's the importance as we move forward. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pray, and I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Hunt. I'm just going to pray over you guys, and just we would pray over this school year that God would bless this time, okay? Heavenly Father, Lord, I thank you for these families that are here right now. I thank you for the opportunity to come together. Lord, that you would help us unify. I see it so important as the world has given us many reasons for us to separate, to look at each other and distrust one another, to have reasons to divide over very passionate ideologies, God, that we would still come in this place and strive for unity. As Jesus prayed in John chapter 17, that we would be one as he and the Father were one, so that the world would know that you truly are the Lord and Savior, that every knee will bow and every tongue will confess to Jesus as Lord is a promise that we have. I pray that we would live that out in the practicalities of everyday life. I thank you for North Hardin Christian School, what it means to my 5 kids and to my wife, and I thank you for the blessings that it's been to me. I pray that it would double down on the blessings for everybody that's in this room. Please protect us as we step forward in faith. Please help these young ones to be able to grasp and understand the things that they're being taught, and thank you for all that you've done. In Jesus' precious name, amen. Dr. Hunt.
Doing a little backwards because this is good news. I've been inundated with families over in the high school just coming in, getting reintroduced, and in many times getting introduced. Let me say welcome to all of you. How many of you, this is your first year to have a child at North Hardin Christian School? Okay, welcome, and I trust that everything will go well for you today. We may not be able to answer all of your questions today, but here's what I know. We're anxious to be able to help you. And I've told probably about 7 new families today, listen, I want to be that, if your child is having a struggle, they can just slip up, just quietly talk to me a little bit, and we'll work out that schedule, that trouble, any problem that we have there. So again, I want to say thank you for being part of our family. We'll say more about that in just a minute. One of the things that I know, I never see parents happier than this next couple of days. I haven't figured it out, but on Tuesday when we begin, right over there, that sidewalk is drop-off point, and I see more smiles on the faces of parents. I don't know what I think I know exactly as they're saying, they're yours for the next 8 hours. Thank you and have a good day. But that's what we're here for, is that to minister to families, to minister to kids. As Mr. Hardin said, we're partnering with you, and that's all part of that. But what are we going to do for you? Academically, we're going to challenge your students. We're going to be giving a structured class, and there are certain goals and objectives. Just went over those today. Again, our goals and objectives, our scope and sequence, all of these educational terms that just tell you the fact that, yes, we have certain things that we're going to teach, and when we teach them, we expect the kids to learn them. We're going to help them, and that is an exciting part of North Hardin Christian School. Another thing is we're going to provide a safe and secure and structured environment for them. Now, we're doing a lot, and I want to thank Brother Josh for spearheading a lot of our efforts toward making sure that safety, it's always been a concern, a major thing, but we're having to step up things. So you'll see some things, and if you say, ooh, they didn't do that the last time we were here, it's all part of that progress in keeping the kids safe. But that's what you can expect here at NHC. You can expect us to reinforce the biblical values that you teach in your home, the hard work ethic, the whole idea of respect, all of those things that come from Bible principles. That's who we are. And that's what we expect to do. So as you hear your kids to begin articulating those to you, you'll know that we're on target for that. We're just going to be here and to help them to be part of our family. And that's how we view it. That's how we view all of these things. I mentioned to the group earlier the fact that I was in Chattanooga, and I was just in a store, And my mother-in-law decided, and I do what she says when I'm in Chattanooga, that she's the boss, or at least I allow her to think so. Anyway, we're in a store called Moon Pies and RC Colas. Now, most of you are too young to know what that store is all about there, but I'm in there, and I hear my name called by this huge guy over in the corner. And I have not seen him for 22 years. He was a student, former student, when I was in Chattanooga. And he came across there, gave me this big bear hug, and I was hoping at the time that, okay, all my interactions were they good? And the first thing out of his mouth is, remember when you suspended me when I was in middle school? Oh, no, I didn't mean it. No, I didn't say anything like that. I said, well, as a matter of fact, I don't, because I don't keep track of those kind of things. But he's part of our family. Reunited, I go to another store, and he had already put out on Facebook that I was in town, and another young lady recognizes me. She comes across. What a great heritage we have at this school of people, young people that have come through, and that's what we want. We want to be part of your family, and we certainly want you to be part of our family. Let me tell you how that works. Support. Your support is so valuable to us in situations. We will work through situations if we have one. Now, most of you won't ever know what that is because everything will be like clockwork for you. That is our prayer each time. But we want you to be involved in your child's education. Maybe not as much as when COVID hit. How many of you were a little bit weary after that and just even having to keep up with that? But the secret to that is going to be communication. If there's something that goes on that you just need an explanation for, get a hold of us. Talk to the teacher. Talk to us in administration. We lovingly say that we'll believe 50%, or if you will believe 50% of what your child says about us and what happened at school, we'll believe 50% of what they say about you. Only because there's a little bit of give and take there, but it's just great that we have that opportunity. And I want to say thank you, and then we're all here to do one thing, and that is take these precious kids. Check out our mission statement. And we are here to teach them how to deal with a world that's a little bit different than the world that you grew up in. Those biblical values that I was talking about a minute ago, not all shared and certainly not put forth in some of the things that kids are exposed to. So let's work together. Let's put forth the Word of God. Let's educate these kids for the glory of God. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon. My name is Josh Elmore, and yes, we get the joke all the time, Josh squared, but I'm Josh Elmore. So I've stepped into somewhat of a new position this school year. I teach 6th grade science, but this year I'm also the athletic and office administrator. So some of you have maybe received emails from me regarding payments or tuition or questions around our plan for FACS. There are a couple of things that I want to clarify just real fast. So FACS is our solution, our payment solution. We are not FACS. It's a total separate entity. So if you have technical issues or problems with payments or billings or the technical pieces, it's a separate company, and we have added their support line, the parent support line, on our website, nhcky.org. But outside of anything technical, I'm the person that you would want to reach out to if you have questions or concerns or anything to do with student finances. For those of you that have maybe been part of our school family for a number of years, you're familiar with probably 2 systems. One of those is the FACS management system, which is the tuition management piece, and then also what was formerly known as RenWeb, where you would go to see your grades and test scores and all those pieces, is actually changed names. It's FACS Student Information System. And our goal this upcoming school year is for an integration that will take both of those systems and make it a one-stop shop for you as the parent and for us as the school. So I just wanted to spend a moment to encourage you and gently guide you to our expectations for FACS and the agreements for tuition on those pieces. Tuition payments are at the heart of our school's operation. As a private school, we do not receive any federal or state funding. It's all through tuition, and believe it or not, that doesn't cover everything. We have a tuition gap, significant one, and so our Feed the Need program, if anybody's ever participated in that with us, that helps bridge that somewhat. It doesn't cover everything, but there's other opportunities that we try to take advantage of to take care of that. It's easy for a tuition management system to become someone's full-time job. And for those of you who had the experience with Miss Jady, she did an excellent job of managing that piece of our school. And that was her full-time job, along with many other things. And so as I step into this role, we're looking to create efficiencies that doesn't tie me to that full-time. As I said, I also teach, and I'm also our athletic director. So with Fox Tuition Management, it expands for the school and you payment opportunities. There's several different ways that you can apply payment to the tuition system. Many pay up front, and we do offer a 3% discount for that. But if you can't, that's okay. We have a payment plan that we can work out through Fox for that. In years past, we've taken payments in the office, we've taken cash checks, everything but an IOU. So that is going to change just slightly. My goal is to try and eliminate a little bit of the traffic through the front office. Ms. Shannon does a great job answering the phones and answering questions and doing a lot of the things in the front office, but she also helps out with our students, answering their questions, she also is responsible for our bus routes, so she has a lot. So I'm trying to alleviate some of the traffic from the front office. So what I'm going to encourage throughout the school year, if you're not already on a Fox agreement, we're going to create a Fox agreement, and that's going to be our system. Some families in the past haven't had a Fox agreement. You've just come in, they've made payment, and the record is kept in-house. It's also going to help us clean up some of those procedures as far as record keeping. There will be a lifelong record in Fox if there's ever any questions on this payment or that payment or anything like that. It is flexible. It's a great tool. Again, it provides different opportunities for you to select that. A little bit more about the tuition piece. It allows you to make changes to your payment dates or your schedule amounts. You can be flexible with that piece. Now, we do kind of set the rules and the parameters of the plan, but it is flexible for you. So you have, and a part of this is so that we have, not that I don't want to talk to you, but it does have fewer direct communication involved. Again, I'm always available for questions or concerns, but when I go into the system and do something, it will kick an email to you automatically. And so a lot of those communication pieces are already taken care of. It does also help streamline admissions in our enrollment processes. And the other piece of it is incidental billing and prepay accounts. So it allows us to bill for fees that fall outside of our regular tuition costs. Many of you know that we have things all year long that are above and beyond the tuition. We have lunch, of course. We have field trips. We have Battle of the Countries. We have a lot of things throughout the year that is outside of that tuition. So having an incidental account through Fox, it makes it very, very easy for billing purposes and for you to be able to make those payments other than coming into the school or writing a check or all those pieces. So again, it's to alleviate some of that traffic. Some people may be concerned about security. Fox has the highest data security standards in the industry. They offer the only tuition management solution that's PCI Level 1 compliant, audited, and red flags ready. Also, Fox is also our third-party vetting system. You can go on there and apply for financial aid and grants. They handle the whole process. They handle the application. They handle the awards on who qualifies for that, and then we tie that directly into the tuition piece, and the payment plan starts from there. If you do have any questions about your Fox agreements or any payment plans, Dr. Hunt alluded to it, communication is very important. Reach out to me. I'll do everything I can to help, but if we get too far down the road and it becomes urgent, it kind of eliminates some of our options or for solutions. So again, I'm Josh Elmore. I'm in the main office throughout the day. My email, it should be on the website. If it's not, we'll get that on there. But if you have any questions or any concerns, I won't open the floor right now for those, but please feel free to come see me and have a conversation. Thank you, guys. I'm going to welcome up Miss Debbie. She's our academic administrator.
All right, guys. Don't want to hold you because some of you are probably trying to get over to meet the teachers for open house. I want to clear the path here for you as far as who does what around here when you call and you don't know who to speak to. Hopefully this will clear it up for you. We have an admin team. We send letters out a lot from the admin team. So Preacher's on there. He's one of the founders of the school back in 1986. He's around. You probably never see him much because he's in the ditches or he's building something or he's on a backhoe. But he's here quite often. Then we've got Dr. Hunt that you just met. He's on the admin team, and he also teaches English and then works in our accreditation routines that we have to go through. Josh Hardin, campus pastor and one of the pastors here at Fellowship Baptist Church. Marcus Dorsett, you probably don't want to hear from him because he deals with the discipline. And if he calls you and informs you of something going on, you'll be talking to him. Or if there's a problem with something going on that we don't know about, or maybe a child bullying or something, please call Mr. Marcus Dorsett, and he'll take care of that and get with you. And then, of course, Mr. Josh Elmore, the financial side, the student finance, is also on the admin team. Myself, Debbie Harden, been here since the beginning, and I deal with the academics. So that hopefully kind of clears up who you need to speak to if you have a question. Also, Shannon is in our office. Amazing job there. So just feel free to give us a call or ask any questions. Our handbook has been updated. It's online. We have a new 2023-24 school handbook. Some of the changes, they were old, so we've got those updated by Ms. Paige Hunt back there, so she helped us with that. I want to put out a couple of things that Ms. Shannon asked me to reference before you guys leave. If you have to pick up your child early from school, and if it's close to dismissal time, please come before or right at 2:20. It can be before 2:20. If it's after 2:20, you'll have to get in the pickup line, and you really don't want to do that. That'll take you a long time. So if you have an appointment that's close to 2:30, be here before 2:20, 2 o'clock, whatever. Don't come after 2:20. We can't get them because they're getting ready to leave, and they're in the halls or different places. The next thing is we are doing a secure checkout in extended care this year, meaning we're going to scan who picks them up and who drops them off, more security. So you might, if you use the service, you need to go by the office and update your pickup list. Make sure everyone is on that list that is eligible to pick up your child. You better make sure grandma's on there because they get pretty upset if their name is not on there, and I am a grandma. All right, bus changes. Make sure they're called in by 1 p.m. All right, if you have a bus change, we don't like to make mistakes, but like Josh Hardin said, we're going to make mistakes. But we can make less mistakes if we're not scrambling at the very last minute to get kids on the bus or to get students somewhere they're not normally supposed to be. So please keep that in mind and help us out. The other thing that I want to mention from the office, if you ordered school supplies, that's a problem, okay? You haven't done anything wrong. It's just they have not fulfilled their delivery. We don't know why. We're in contact with them, and it's not something that we have any thing to do with. You guys got online. You all ordered supplies in May, and now we're getting emails after we're inquiring about them because you have to furnish your information. We don't have an order number. However, they're saying they're backed up. The warehouse is, busy. They're going to do the best they can. So we're at their mercy. We told them school is Tuesday, and they can't promise us that it's going to be here. So we have extra paper. We have pencils. If you have anything at home you can throw in their book bag, please do that. But don't go purchase anything if you bought a school supply box. We will get it as soon as we can. So I'm sorry about that. I think we'll be looking probably for another company but that's kind of customer service sometimes these days. So we'll do our best to get them as soon as we can. Okay, so for the changes in the handbook, really quick, I just want you all to pay some really close attention. You don't have it, but on page 22, when you go back, please note the attendance policy. You know, guys, kids are required to go to school 177 days out of the school year. That's 1,062 hours. If they're not, then we have to turn that in. And we don't want that to happen here in the case of our students. They're allowed 12 absences. Now, what happens is if they're missing those 3, if they miss 3 absences in the first quarter, more than 3, because if you have 4 quarters, 4 times 3 is 12. And if they miss more than 3 absences, that's not a good sign. So what we're going to have to do is there's a mandatory recovery to make up the work that they've missed. You know, when a child misses school, they're missing academics. And school is academics. And it's not just, oh, well, we'll just stay home today, you know, grandma's in or aunt and uncle's in. They're missing their academics. And we hold that to a very high standard. So whatever those children have missed in those days past 3, they'll have to stay in a mandatory recovery school. And that is a 2-hour session to try to catch the students up on what they've missed. It's an additional $25 I have to pay someone to sit after school and watch that. So parents, please help get your child here to school and make sure they're on time. Tardiness is not something that is frowned upon today much, but it is teaching children character. Students should be on time, whether it be for school, whether it should be our jobs. You know, my husband has a business, and we hired a lot of kids this summer. So many boys and even girls came and asked to work. And we let them, trying to help them. But I let you know that probably not 1 or 2 of them, not 1 or 2 ever, probably 1 or 2 showed up on time. The other 12 or 14 children that we hired never came on time. You know, we're trying to teach your child more than just academics. We're trying to teach them character, and we're trying to teach them spiritually. And that brings me to what is a classical school. You know, classical, you've heard, what is classical? I mean, Christian school, I think, speaks volumes for itself. We're going to show Christ to these children, hopefully more by example than by our mouths. And I hope that they can see something different. We want them to see Christ. We want them to have a personal relationship, but we're not forcing that. But a classical school is something that, honestly, folks, I went to a school that was classical. It was not called classical, and it wasn't a Christian school. It was a public school. And back 60, 70 years ago, guys, 100 years ago, I'm not 100, but 100 years ago, we had classical schools. And schools taught values. Schools taught character. Schools taught respect. Schools taught an accountability, repetition, memorization, poetry. That's the kind of school I went to, and that's classical. And in Philippians, I love this verse because it's whatsoever things are just and lovely and of good report, think on these things, and then teach and learn. That's classical. We're teaching children truth. We're going to teach children things that are good. And it's sad today that that's not what is being taught. It's not truth. TikTok is not true. But kids believe that it's true. So, you know, guys, this is classical. In classical schools, you have a trivium. A triangle. Tri means 3. We teach Latin, and that's trivium. So how our children learn vocabulary? By learning Latin prefixes and suffixes. Well, the trivium, the 3 angles, the 3 points to the triangle, it's grammar, it is logic, and it's rhetoric. And that's what we're teaching your children. These little kids in kindergarten and preschool, all the way up to 9 years old, are getting grammar. And they're learning grammar inside and out. All the 8 parts of speech, the punctuation rules, capitalization rules. That's classical. And then when they get to age 10 through about 14, it's logic. No, we don't teach them how to ask Siri something. That's not the logic we're looking for. We want them reasoning. We want them to debate and have discussions in a right way. We're going to disagree. You can disagree, but there's a right way and a wrong way. We're not going to protest and burn a building down because we don't agree. We're teaching them to have a say, have an opinion, but where's your facts? If you got it from TikTok, that doesn't count. And then rhetoric. Rhetoric is what the upperclassmen get, and that is called discussions, debates. We had debates at the end of last school year. It was the best time ever. First graders debating on a topic. They were prepared. And then we debated, and it was very formal. We are teaching them how to be able to have a say, to use their voice persuasively, and then also to write a 15-page thesis when they graduate. They won't have any problem writing anything in college. Nothing is 15 pages. That's a classical school, guys. So that brings me to attendance and tardies. Why do we want your children? Because they're missing this when they're not here. We know they're sick. We know there's bugs going around and viruses and the flu. And we know that hits, but please, if they're not throwing up and they don't have a fever, please get them to school. We want them in school. Tardies, please don't be tardy, because that's another thing that's going to impact their academics. They miss the same class every week. Well, guess what? They're missing that class and the instruction, and they will maybe fail that class. We don't want that to happen. All right. They can make up their work if it's a excused absence, and that's all in the handbook. I don't want to labor the point. If it's an excused absence, they can make 100% of their work up and get 100% credit. If it's an unexcused absence, the highest they can get is an 80. So understand, yes, it does impact them. We give them time. If they miss 5 days of school for sickness, they get 5 days to make it up, if it's excused. If the child doesn't make it up, they get a 0 until they get that made up. So parents, we're trying to teach them accountability. They have to come to their teacher and make that up. Emergency closings, for you all that have been here, you know that we're on WHAS. Channel 11 will mention North Hardin Christian School. Don't just go by Hardin County Schools. We are separate, and you will get a phone call or a text or something saying that we're going to be closed for weather or something. I'm not going to labor this. I want to get you all over there. Page 27 is the dress code. Guys, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory. Please don't make me be the dress code police. Please don't make me get onto your child. I have had parents drive up, literally, and the child got out of the car, and the parent said, Miss Debbie's going to get you. I don't want to get them. Please notice what the dress code is, and please make sure they're in dress code. Again, you know, we don't allow the holes in the jeans. We let them wear jeans, but no holes, but that's not a spiritual issue. I'm not saying if you wear holes in your jeans, shame on you. It's just a dress code. Target has a dress code. If you go into Target, what do they wear? Khaki pants and a red shirt. So it's just a dress code. There are some things that are good for school. There are some things that are not. Pajama pants are not good for school. That's go to bed. And you'd be surprised, the kids that come to school and try to wear pajama pants, they're tired, they're lethargic, they don't want to think, they want to go to bed. So there's a reason for what we do, guys. All right. I think I'm just about done here. Dual credit, we offer that for juniors and seniors. Our ECTC is set up over there in the gym, an amazing program that we can take part in, and I'm glad they work with us, and you can find out more about that through Marcus Dorset as well. And then I think there's one more thing. Students driving to school, if they drive and they have the privilege, they must maintain a 2.5 GPA. That's for your safety and mine as well. We want to make sure they are smart enough to be on the road. How's that? All right. Okay, guys, we've got, probably about 25, 30 minutes. If you all haven't been over to see your teachers, please go visit. Thank you so much for coming, and we'll see everyone on Tuesday. Thank you.